Are we on? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Microphone check. Lights. Cameras. Hit me. This is Swanky. This is lifestyle. This is culture. Welcome to the social center of everything culture. Culture Daily.
We still have more to go on the show. One straight hour of good conversation this morning right here on Culture Daily. I don't know where you are doing and watching from, but if you just joined us, good morning. If you've been with us as well again, I hope you've enjoyed everything so far. The man C will be making so much noise about playing the FIFA, the FC24. Well, what we are playing here is, I think
21.
FIFA 21. And he'll be making so much noise about it. You know?
Why?
And,
Is this serious fault
what you
we
need
are
to
playing
understand is
21?
that, let me kill his mic. What you need to understand is that the other part is not in the best of shapes and he's making noise, just trying to. But we'll deal with him, you understand? We will deal with him. This is an in-house conversation. So for those of you who are watching Serial think he's winning, he is not winning. It's all part of the script. You get it. It's a script you've written that he's supposed to, because he's the lead host on Game On.
You know, haters, they come in different sizes. I didn't know the whole company is full of haters.
Haters.
Hey, haters, you guys, what do you do meeting?
Well, we meet all the day.
Anyway,
so don't forget the e-soccer tournament is on for you to be part of. We put up the artwork yesterday. Just go screenshot it, upload on your page as well. Tag us so we see you and you can get signed up for the competition. Deadline 29th of this month. So hurry before the big games continue. Then we'll see who will be the topmost, the champion, the overall king of 3 Music's e-soccer tournament. Well, I'm currently the best there ever was, the best there will ever be, the best there is to come, the best AI version. Even when you put an AI version of me, I'll still beat. Yo, that's how bad it is, or that's how good it is. But don't forget, smiling is very important, and that's why you need to brush your teeth every morning and evening. Because if you don't brush your teeth when you eat it as well, it can lead to tooth decay and gum disease, sometimes even foul breath, okay? That's why you need to brush your teeth morning and evening with Pepsodent Cavity Fighter. It gives your teeth the protection they need, leaving you with 10 times stronger teeth. Okay, it is fortified with pro-fluoride and microcalcium ingredients, sealing tiny and invisible holes and preventing cavities, and keeps your teeth and your mouth very, 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 very healthy. Brace yourself for a food adventure as that is as epic as the playlist. Our playlist, right? District 24 and Breakfast to Breakfast Ghana have you covered this festive season. Now you'd find District 24 inside East Legon. Breakfast to Breakfast is inside Osu. And experience the convenience of a 24-hour delivery service. You can't go wrong with it. I love their food. Go and check them on your socials. It's DSTRKT_24 and Breakfast to Breakfast _Ghana. And don't forget, we are beaming across the world on Channel 7 via Sky 8181. I beg your pardon, 181 in the UK. You can watch Culture Daily, Chef It Up, and Just Vibes as it is on there as well. And you have a chance to be rich. Easy. *959#. Easy. Just dial it right now. Try it as I speak to you. It's 590 mobile. Like they say, Sam. It's in your hands, baby. Go ahead, play the game. It's festive season. Make some money and go blow it. But don't tell boys about it, because boys will help you blow that money, all right? It's 959#. *959#. Try it right now. There are games to play every single day as we speak. And as we get, it's midweek, it's Wednesday. Today's Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, today's Wednesday. Yeah. Feels good to be a Wednesday. Listen, how about you, grab your girl, go with your man, go watch some movie at the Silverbed Cinemas, just relax, eat some popcorn, spread hair, make it feel good, cuddle, enjoy the movie, surround sound, Dolby, digital surround sound, big screen, it's clear, it's in your face. Find a movie of your choice. Plenty movies are showing. Look, I tell you what, some of them like Aquaman and Lost Kingdom, The Marvels, Paw Patrol, many other global blockbusters, I beg your pardon. Complemented by Ghana's number one popcorn. I'll tell you this:
it is
in life,
playing
in life, right? In life, check this out. In life, 1 + 1, 2, 2 + 2, 4, 3 + 3, 6, 4 + 4, 9. You know what? People would go focus on the 9. You know, you see, people focus on your mistakes and forget the good things that you were doing.
Okay, but yeah, let's go.
Thank you. You fought it. Now, I don't know if you're more passionate in the film space, the animated Ghanaian film space, than this man, Jesse Sonkwa Mills, our guest this morning. Jesse, welcome to the show.
Thank you, guys.
It's good to have you join us here.
Yeah, it's good to be
Culture
here.
Squad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the culture.
For the culture, bro. Chale, you're a big man. You're a big man.
Sure?
That's all I can say. You
bro. Correct yourself.
That is big pressure.
Big man.
He's a big man. Look, I can tell you where he was born. He was born in Accra, Ghana. No, he's a filmmaker. Maybe in fact, he's an animator as well. I need to let you tell us a bit more about yourself, because today we are switching the conversation and focusing in that space, animation. Now, I take you way back to Akola Okwain. Maker Library, one of the most famous, popular animations that this country probably ever saw. Zingaro, thank you very much. Zingaro.
The forefathers of
yes,
animation.
the grandpapas of Ghanaian animation.
Yeah, that's right.
But since that time, yes, there is a certain, industry or ecosystem of animators. But you can't even... One of the things that I really want to touch on is... how that industry is contributing to our film space as we speak, right?
Yeah.
We have seen some animations on screen. Zingaro, I don't know whether it was because of its, whether it was a script that made it so popular, it was the guy's head, I don't know.
Shout out to Kojo Sheldon.
So, man, hey, Bruh Sheldon, this goes out to you, Bruh Sheldon. Did they see you in the past, in the future at that time? Good job. Jesse, give us a bit of a background about yourself. As for the milestones you've clocked on there, we would. In fact, yes. Hold on, my producer just reminded me. Before I even allow him to tell us about himself, watch this video.
For me and Petrol this time, but if you haven't, we'll settle for a story.
Grandpa, please tell us a new story. I have told my friends all your Nasi stories.
Is in exile and will not return to Ashanti. Its power and authority will be taken over by the representative of the Queen of Britain. The terms of the 1874 Peace Treaty of Fermanagh, which required you to pay for the cost of the war, have not been forgotten. Then there's the matter of the golden stool of Ashanti. The Queen is entitled to the stool. She must receive it.
The stool belongs to the Ashanti Kingdom. Do you think we will let you have that? That's one thing we take pride in. After you have shamelessly captured and exiled our king. You will never set eyes on the golden stool. Kwano yakuwa hiko yakuwa masikaja yakuwa masantemai yakuwa ajie fahundi choboy
Soldiers, till victory! Charge!
Hey girl, do you have a minute? If you remember I mentioned about a year ago that one of my breasts was looking bigger than the other. I think it's increased though. It's looking even bigger, and I see some discharge coming out of it. I'm getting worried.
You are highly welcome to my humble abode. My daughter, what you are seeing here is a serious matter indeed. Wallahi, I fear not. My potion and herb can cure any infection. In fact, I have just the thing for you.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Kinga, this special potion made from the rarest herb will cure you in no time. Just drink it every day. Drink in the morning, drink in the evening. Wallahi, the infection will disappear. Poof, like magic.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Ifya, I don't think the medicine is working. I think I need to see a doctor before it worsens any further. It's getting worse and worse. I don't know what to do.
Ajua, I think you should give it some time to work. But if you still want to go to the hospital, I'm all for it. I'll go with you.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABC. Next time, won't you sing with me?
Jay, you back already?
Yeah.
Whoa, I can't believe it's been years the pandemic started since 2019.
Yeah, it's crazy. But you know what's even crazier?
What? Tell me.
People are still refusing to get the vaccine.
But why?
I don't know. Some people are just skeptical about it, I guess.
You know, I've heard a lot of questions about the vaccine. Like, is it safe?
Yeah, those are definitely common concerns. But you know what? I did some research, and it turns out that the vaccine is actually safe, and it's been proven to be effective in preventing COVID-19.
Whoa, then that's good to know. So, why are some people still hesitant to get it?
I think a lot of it has to do with misinformation. Some people might have heard fake news about the vaccine and are afraid to get it because of that.
That's really frustrating. Then we need to get something to educate people and help them to understand the importance of getting vaccinated.
You're right. We need to be heroes and fight the pandemic together. And the best way to do that...
Now, see what I was telling you. See what I was telling you. All these cobras are in Ghana. We can change the face of the industry. See, I'm talking like an assassin. We can change the face of the industry if you believe. And that's what Jesse is doing. He started and he's working on this. And if you are in your house now and you loved what you just saw, say amen.
Amen.
I can hear you shout amen. I like that. Jesse, that's amazing.
Thanks, bud.
That is amazing. Simply amazing. Well, we may have been struggling with... Yesterday, we had a great conversation with Fifi Coleman, and we touched on so many issues affecting our film space. But today, we turn our lenses to the animation, and if that could be a way out for us, could we take leadership role in that space across the African continent and retell the stories in another way, where without the use of huge cameras, light, sound, and all, filming in grand stages and finding locations, just by the imagination of with the pen, could we transform the perception people have about all the stories that people tell with film? And that's what Jesse has begun here with us this morning. Jesse, again, welcome to the studio. What did we just watch? Tell us.
So what we just watched was a show reel of some of our works we put together. The beginning of the show reel is our animated film Asantua, which we released last year, December, on the 10th, and it was a big cinema hit. So that was like just a summary or a show reel of, you know, some of the things we've worked on in the past, and yeah. Basically.
How did you get into this space?
Please
hold on. Do you draw?
Yes.
Okay, no, let's start. So how did you get into this space?
Yeah, like the question you rightfully asked, whether I draw or not. Yes, I've been drawing since infancy, and that's where the love for animation started. You know, we would all rush from school just in a hurry to go watch Cartoon Network, and I'd say I'd always been fascinated about how these characters would move, how they were animated. It was mind-boggling. So that sparked some sort of curiosity at a very early stage. So I've done art all my life, basically, from, you know, just a little boy through to school and to tertiary stage. And it was in tertiary that I actually got exposed to animation proper, and I understood what went into animation and how, you know, you see these characters moving like they're doing. Yes.
There definitely was a growth process. I like the way you bunched it all up, but let's just get into it in detail to understand how the evolution really works. Okay. Software, you know, what you got introduced to, what you were working with. Let's just understand the creative process of how you grew this brand as you are today.
So animation, first of all, has, you know, seen a lot of progress or development when it comes to software, like you mentioned. Back in the day, it was quite difficult to venture into animation in the days of the Zingaros, you know. Yeah, those times you'd actually have to draw on paper frame by frame. There weren't sophisticated software like you have now, which has in a way simplified, you know, animation to some extent. So now it's a little easier to do animation as compared to, you know, back in the days. There are better softwares, some of them actually free. Before, you'd pay so much, thousands of dollars to have access to an animation software. So before, it was like a space for a certain group of people, but then now, once you have the love and the passion for it, you can actually get into that space.
Has Ghana been late to the table? And when I say the table, you know, the whole now how software's AI is, you know, changing the face of how animations are done. Were we late to the table? Because we are clearly late to the table when it comes to film. A lot of things. Okay. A lot of things. I'm talking film. Don't like Lily. We are late.
Even to football, we are late to football. You know what we did yesterday?
No. I know if you start going, if you start working them up, please, I beg you.
We are late. We are not transforming.
Maybe they should connect a pad to the Black Stars.
Hey. This morning, Cyril was late to the show. He was late to the show.
If they can connect a pad, Xbox pad controller to the Black Stars,
you play.
Then I play. Because if Comoros, and what's the other one that scored us? What's the other one we managed to score one?
Go on Facebook.
What's the one we? Look at some teams. Look at the teams.
Yes. I see. Delali says, "Mami from League." Yes, Ajiman says, "Very nice." Yes, thank you very much. But we'll not forget this one. I'm waiting for the comments to start floating. Who's saying you? Will they talk?
Barbados.
Who's saying you?
Comoros.
Yes, but
animation. Let's go.
All right. So how late are we to the party?
I wouldn't say we're that late, but maybe
the comments have started.
Yes. I won't say we're that late. As a matter of fact, it's actually a very good time to be an animator in Ghana right now, and I have my reasons for saying that because it's a small community in itself, animation, even globally, but it's big out there. But when it comes down to Africa, it's kind of a small community. So then you easily know what's going on, you know, within the networks. And there's a lot of work going on with Ghanaian animators here. We just haven't had a lot of spotlight for people to see and know what's really going on, but there's a lot of work going on. When you talk about AI and the use of tech and all, our work involves a lot of tech and machines and, you know, even the AI you're mentioning. So
could I have you just flip the microphone up a little bit so that, I think, see if you can help. Thank you very much.
All right.
Slightly a bit more. I think the audience says they can't really I hear you properly. Yeah, they won't hear your sexy voice. The girls they die for Facebook. Yeah, yeah.
All right. Yeah. So I mean, with our space, you really need to be abreast with time. You need to stay on track. I mean, you're supposed to be learning every time. So when it comes to the animation space, I can tell you confidently that the people in the space are quite, up to date when it comes to the tech and the AIs. Sometimes the only problem or disadvantage would be the, how expensive some of these tools are to come by. Whereas, in the international world or in the foreign countries, they are easily they're able to have access to these things easily. But back home, we know about some of these things, but then the kudi or the kwachati gets
take us into the technical world of animation a bit. What softwares are currently on trends, recommended or in use?
So I'll try to break this down like to the simplest form, just so when a listener is listening. First of all, someone will be wondering what really is animation. In a basic layman terms or explanation, it's just making an inanimate object or a lifeless object move, and you do that with certain tools and techniques, and those are the softwares you've mentioned. An example of a software which we use is Blender. So then we do a lot of 3D animation. We do 2D as well, but we do a lot of 3D animation, and the process that goes into making, let's say, an animated character, for instance, is you first, design the character you have in mind.
Yeah.
You sketch it on paper, and then you model it. Modeling it is like building it up with clay. I'm trying to explain in layman terms. So building it up with clay, that's the modeling stage. And then to get it to move, you need to sort of fix bones into the mold. That's a stage we call rigging. And then after rigging, now you're able to get to, move the body parts and then translate that into a movement. So then if you want to now put together a story or a film, it's just like any other feature film would do. And this is something a lot of people don't know. They see animation to be for kids, but then animation is also film. It's just a different medium of storytelling.
Yeah.
So it goes through the same process as a live action would. So you first, pen down your script, you do the screenplay, everything, you cast for the voices. So for animation, instead of getting actors to, act out and then you film them like live action, this time around when they're doing the acting, you're just recording their voice. So then you animate on their voices. You get it, exactly, yes. Sometimes you get inspiration of the character design from
so basically you lay the audios and then you build the visuals on them.
On top of them, yes, exactly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Then from that stage, you from the animation stage, you go to post-production, just like live action, basically. Yes.
And often, how many people make up the team? I want to believe that it's not so.
No. You can't do animation alone. It's not possible.
Well, that's the only thing we're doing right now.
So yes. So
every other thing somebody is doing the thing all the time, right?
Yes. So there are in animation there are departments. So there's a department for modeling. There's a department for rigging. There's a department for texturing. There's a department for animating.
Oh, wow.
And then exactly.
What's rigging?
Like rigging is when you
put the bones to a
bones
structure.
into the mold to get it to move.
After you draw,
like in the morning when you wake up, you do rig.
I'm sorry. I
That's
just
my new term,
I
bro.
just wanted to
Charlie, I rig,
look
man.
at the workflow.
Yeah.
So you are an artist, so you draw.
Yeah.
Then you move what's on paper.
Yeah.
To who takes what you.
Okay, so. Well, my role is a creative director, so I supervise a creative team.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Shout outs to my team, by the way. They are awesome. They are listening.
So say I come to you and I want to have leaked series.
Yes.
An animation for the series, right? The audios are ready.
Okay.
So we want to transform the audios into characters that would play according to what we're hearing, right?
Yeah.
So where do we start from? We start from the artist, right?
Yeah, the character design.
The character design.
Yes.
So the same as the artist.
Yes. So you obviously you would have an idea of how you'd want these characters to look like. So in Leak, there's Mami.
Okay.
You definitely have an idea of how you'd want mommy to look like.
Right.
You know, physically. Maybe you'd want her to be slim. You'd want her to be curvaceous.
He likes voluptuous. So
right. So then you describe.
So you describe the character.
So you describe the characters, and then based on the description, the character designer then draws out the character.
Okay.
And then if it suits your taste and you like it, it then moves on to the modeling stage where this drawn character is put in a 3D dimensional form.
Okay.
And then it's rigged and then animated, and then it's put into a scene to have like a story at the end of the day.
I see. So often, how long does it take to move from process A, B, C, and then the final output, which we just see?
It depends on how complex the job is in the first place. There are some characters that would require you spend so much time on them, and also maybe the duration of the animation that you're doing. Ideally, when you go outside, they spend so much time on even just like a 5 minutes animation. But here you don't have that kind of luxury, so you're forced.
What are the hold-ups, or what's keeping you from spending time to get to that point?
If you don't have a very good turnaround time, let's say for instance, I'll use myself and my studio as an example. When I say you don't have the luxury to spend so much time on a single project, it basically has to do with the returns you get at the end of the day. So if you're going to spend say 6 months, an entire 6 months on just a 5 minutes animation video, then it means you're not going to do
other jobs,
and that goes against you. How are you going to keep the lights on? So you need to find a way to get things done faster. Yes, exactly, but still very efficient, still really good. And once the client sees it, they're still going to love it.
So do you outsource some of these things? Because obviously, like you're saying, if you have multiple gigs and you need to meet a deadline, I want to understand how collaboration works in your space, because you said it's a very small community. So how do you guys work together?
So collaboration is something where in recent times we're trying to like really push, because Ghanaian creatives don't like to collaborate. but in our space,
Comoros and Madagascar.
No, you're saying.
But I mean,
this question is a very good question.
Yeah, it's a bit different in our space. We've realized the need to collaborate more because we've seen that we're quite a small community. So, and of course, when you get the chance to go outside and see what's happening out there, like we had the chance to, you see the need to collaborate. So we started doing that, but. We don't do so much outsourcing because we make sure we don't take on too many jobs in the first place.
Okay.
And then we have almost every department, usually aside from sound. Foley is now telling us you jump on the project.
Screen, I am want to be enrolled as a staff of your company. I want to support. Yes, I want to support with sound. I am the best in the country. I'm the best. Nobody can confuse me.
Nobody. FIFA,
yes. It's apart from FIFA. Even if you ask me to score FIFA for you, I can score FIFA. Do you get it? Do you understand what I just said? You get me? Pun intended.
Yeah, no.
But I mean, hands down, I'm saying that I really want to be part of this thing. I'm putting it on record. I'm saying it on TV, and I want you to respond back. Say, "We've taken you."
Oh no, we have.
I mean, cut video, cut this part, post. So I mean, that question on collaboration, and I was also going to ask something similar. Sorry, it's here on. Is it a collaborative ecosystem, or is it a very competitive ecosystem?
No, I really don't think it's competitive because we haven't. I always say to the rest of the other studios, I feel like we haven't even scratched the surface when it comes to animation in Africa. Because when you look at how much money is made in animation globally, I think
it's a big deal. It's a very big deal.
It was around over 300 billion from 2022 to 2023, and it's projected to go up to 700. And in Africa, we are getting just around 17 billion. Yes, and that's
and what
quite
could be the
small,
contributing factor to that? Is it of interest to the African and how we perceive? And this question, I'll come back to Cyril on to ask him about how to be able to develop and market characters. Because yesterday you mentioned that we are watching. Pardon me.
We are watching actors.
Actors, not the characters that have been created to become marketable.
That's deep,
but I mean, I sometimes give Cyril these ideas and he says it before the show. You understand?
We brainstorm before the show. So
So we give him these ideas. He's a mouthpiece.
One FIFA has got you with this.
No.
But Charlie, no.
But we told you before you said it.
No,
and
this fancy needs to stop.
I'm telling you.
The match will end.
Oh, hey.
So,
bro,
you score first goal.
You are a guest. Have you ever been here before?
Oh,
you witnessed the matches we were playing this
conversation.
Before I ask you my question, please, who was winning till we scored? Why? Now you want to talk for the guest?
He's a marketing guy.
He's a marketing guy.
Trying to sell perception to you, but we will refuse it.
Yes.
We will refuse it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the
apart from your eyes, you have HD.
Come to your question. Ask the question.
With the rise of AI, with the rise of AI, right? On a serious note, with the rise of AI, what has that done for workflow, workload, and also is it a way to mitigate, or should I say, bypass the need for the collaboration that doesn't seem to be happening? Because now with like stuff like Mid-Journey and Discord and stuff,
you know your stuff.
Keep quiet for a long time. Discord, Mid-Journey, all these other things.
Right.
It should allow some of the workload to be taken off, where you have to maybe generate a character from scratch. You could do that and speed up workflow and all that. Are you guys exploring that? And
definitely.
Do you think it is going to be an advantage or disadvantage?
Yeah. This is an argument we've been having, since AI came out. There was a big scare. AI was going to take away jobs of artists and all of that. But like you rightfully said, we've already started exploring, and it's even part of the reasons we're able to have a quick turnaround time, because even in the softwares these days, the AI has been implemented a lot in some of these softwares. So take for instance
generative
Blender.
Tools.
Exactly. If you wanted to generate like a whole crowd in a tool like Blender, you'd have to but these days there are plugins that have AI based in there that helps you easily within some minutes generate like a crowd, and it's not even heavy on your machine. And even you spoke about Mid-Journey and stuff like that. You could easily put in, if you have an idea of say a character you want to whip up, instead of probably drawing, sometimes in the idea development stage or brainstorming, you have nothing in your head, so you could just quickly put something in there. It generates some ideas for you, and then you can further develop those ideas from what is generated. So it speeds up the process in that way. Exactly.
Okay, but with regards to role, 10 years ago, if I needed to create a character, I needed to communicate to somebody who was able to sketch.
Yes.
The head shape, the demeanor, the face, body language. I needed to communicate that.
Yeah.
Now, somebody might be a techie, software guy, animator, and can go into ChatGPT or Discord and prompt this.
Yes.
Now, to prompt it to create what the person is imagining, that takes language.
Yeah.
Does that role now become a new role that maybe your team you have to fill for somebody who gets it enough to be able to speak the language to generate the right character? So that it's not just like, give me a guy, African fighter, and then AI will go and probably give you an African Iron Man, and that's not what you want. You want more of a Kunta Kinte kind of guy. So does that role now become a new opening, or do you guys see yourselves evolving to fill that role?
Yeah, definitely it does. And I think gradually artists are beginning to warm up to the fact that we need to embrace AI. It's here to stay. There's nothing we can do about it. And even AI in itself, it's in its early stages. And so there was this quick comment I saw that was passed by the CEO of DreamWorks. DreamWorks is a big animation studio in the US. And he says in a space of, say, in the next 9-10 years, we're not going to have we're not going to need big numbers when it comes to a team to put a production together. So you could have a team cut down to like 10 or 9 to put
it's
out
just generative
classic.
stuff.
Exactly, just because of the impact AI is going to have. So yes, we're all warming up to the fact that it's here to stay. So we need to know how it's going to work to our advantage. Like you said, it will still take a human being to put in those specific details to generate the proper images you want, not just random text and So I think that in itself is even like a skill that's probably just like when social media started. Now we have digital marketers. We didn't have digital marketers back
community
then.
managers.
Exactly, but now we do. So with the introduction of AI, I'm very sure people would start to realize some of these opportunities, and then you can have someone in that role who you can hire to work with.
So circling back to
AI though is AI.
Circling back to the topic, right? With all these excitement that's coming with animation and the future of technologies and stuff like that, I know we asked this earlier, but just to expand the conversation even better, is Ghana ready? Even from the the animation community.
This question, the question that precedes this question, funny enough, that was what I wanted to ask. But just to add that before then you answered using his, is what is the how are we receiving animation? As Ghanaians. Then if we are ready.
Surprisingly, Ghanaians actually do love animation.
Okay.
Yes, and they get excited about it more once they find out it's made by their very own.
Okay.
And I'm saying this because of what we experienced on the day we premiered Asantua last year, December. We were just planning, or we had planned for just a hall at the Silverbird Cinemas. Yes, and even with that, Nana, the manager, didn't even believe we were going to be able to fill up a hall.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I mean, he says anytime we are on an interview, we can call him out, because that's how he was impressed at the end of the day.
And he even mentioned you at the film summit, the cinema summit.
Right.
He gave you your props.
Right. So,
at
the beginning.
You mentioned it.
That they shut it down for 3 days.
They didn't believe we would even sell a hall. And we had also planned for a hall. We had our whole program lineup. On this day we're going to do this. We're going to have a small panel discussion before, tell people how the movie, was put together, blah, 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 because we didn't think so many Ghanaians would show up. And the day comes and we had filled up the entire Silverbird Cinemas, and there was an overflow. There were people waiting outside. The managers had to be running to free up halls.
We could do it in 2 weeks.
You get,
wow.
There's a video I even shared with your team. They can even
could we get those visuals as well to see if we can have an experience.
Wow, such milestones.
With Asantua, what did you think drove the traffic? Was it the story or the fact that it was animated? What do you think?
I think for starters, the story. For starters, and then also,
did you share a trailer prior to this?
Yeah, there were some teasers.
So let's just say that it was the animation.
Yeah, the animation played a big part. The fact that it was retold in form of animation, excited people the more, and they were just anxious to see it.
What went
into
that? Okay, finish.
Sorry, and that was what even enticed a big figure like Mark Brown to also jump on a project like that, to want to collaborate. The fact that we were going to tell Asantua's story in an animated form. They felt like it was long overdue. And animation actually allows you to, your limitation is your imagination. So anything you think of, you are able to achieve.
This is why I asked the question I asked, because you see, even with the introduction of AI and stuff, right? Whatever you can think about, you can make it happen in animation.
Yes.
If you are shooting like a film,
live
with
action.
Human beings, live action and stuff like that.
There are limitations.
Yes, there are limitations, but animation makes you do anything, everything you want to do.
Limitation is your imagination.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
as much as you're still animating and not being traditional, what key traditional inputs in the film space do you use? For example, Asantua, it was about the story. Did you engage a story writer, screenplay writer? Do you do what film? Because the animation is more or less the technical execution. But at the end of the day, I just finished watching, was it the Blue-Eyed Samurai?
Wow, Charlie, you know your stuff.
I forget since I watched cartoon.
I know, right?
After episode 1, I told you to go and watch that,
Which one?
Netflix, Blue-Eyed Samurai.
Yeah.
After episode 1, I forgot I was watching that animation.
Yeah, that's
the story was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I checked out the writers, and they've worked on other things that are not animation.
Yeah.
So it's obviously an animation studio that went to look for some great story writers. Wrote a bad story.
Yeah.
Then brought it to animation. Is that how you guys work, or is it very in-house that the animation team has an idea that we, the animation team, want to tell a story about J-Foley?
Yeah.
So, and then work starts.
Yeah.
Or do you take this to a film writer and say, we want to tell a story about J-Foley's life? Film writer, write us a story. Then you transcribe that beautiful film story into animation. Which is the dynamic that,
like I said at the beginning, animation is just another medium of storytelling. Animation is film. Yes. So just like live action would have a script writer, screenplay, everything. It works just like that. And animation is actually a lot more complex than live action. With animation, you can't really cut corners.
So, sorry, just to cut you on screen now, we are watching the premiere of Asantewa.
That's right.
Yes, at the Silverbird, right?
That's right.
Oh, awesome. All right, please, like you're saying.
Yeah. So with animation, you can't really cut corners. And you were asking about the story. So usually we can have an idea that this is the kind of story we want to tell, but then you still need a professional, someone who's really good with, developing a screenplay to really put down the script well for you. But usually you can come up with the story. This is the idea I have in mind. This is what I want to tell. And then you get a professional to, further break it down for you proper and tell the story well.
Okay. Jay, I want to ask about profitability and revenue.
Right.
Was this worth the effort? Not in terms of brand development. I'm just talking about the pocket.
Yeah, very much. It was. And the aftermath or the ripple effect is even a lot more than right after the thing comes out. Yes.
I mean, you and I have had backdoor conversations, but for the sake of this conversation, I also wanted to see how this has put some kind of global spotlight on you and your work, and how you've had some interactions with blockbuster animators on the other side in the West. And if you could share some of the conversations they've had with you post Asantewa release, and what the future is looking like with them, because I know you mentioned an animation class looking to be inspired or help them do some work as well. But before you do that, if you don't mind sharing the conversation that happened in Kumasi when you took this to the Ashanti region.
This matter.
And I want us to have this conversation because
what happened in Kumasi?
The reason why I want him to have this conversation with us is because
some tables.
It's because we talk about the reason why we keep asking whether Ghana is ready when we have such conversations is that we talk about these conversations daily. We try our best to bring these conversations to light. But interestingly, the people that these products are made for are not ready to receive them. Mills.
Some of them.
Well, it will shock you that when you think about Asantewa, what region comes into mind?
Yeah, what region?
Eastern.
No. Ashanti region.
Yeah.
Mills, tell us, when you took this to Ashanti, what happened?
Well, I would want to say, I don't want to believe it's the mindset of everybody in the Ashanti region, but even for instance, when we premiered it here at the Silverbird Cinemas, we had lots of messages. People were like, why would you premiere a Asantewa film in Accra Fest? You get it. So there was that pressure for us to take the film to Kumasi, and we finally take it to Kumasi, and the turnout, maybe because of what we saw in Accra, we were over expecting the turnout to be like what we saw in Accra, because also we felt like this is their story and they would be a lot more excited than the people here in Accra. And then you speak to people and you hear comments like, Charlie.
No, say it.
You won't make a talk this.
No, say it. We'll amplify this conversation.
Said, live band. And is it toys the heading? You know.
Well, I think as sad as that sounds, I think it's an issue of how do I say it tactfully? It's an issue of awareness. People will always visualize their own culture and their own traditions in a certain way.
Right.
From the creative expressiveness of an animation studio or a film studio. Yesterday we mentioned that the Woman King, the Dahomey people were upset. Right? If it not be yesterday, like me, I don't know if anybody be upset of that because to me it was an excellent movie. So I think fair enough, you might do Agokoli, and those of us in Accra will clap.
Yeah.
But if you went to screen it in Oho or who, people will be like, no guy. You understand? And that is very subjective. So it's unfortunate, but
that's why I said I don't want to believe that's the mindset of every single
No, it happens.
So to which community was this? To which community did you get this feedback from? Was it from the elderly? Was it from the masses? The Gen Z?
The Gen Zs at the time, they didn't show any form of interest, But then at the time we also realized the school was on vacation, KNUST, because we knew for a fact that if they were on campus, a lot of them would have showed up. You get it? But then again, you would still expect that once the thing is in your homeland, finally, you'll still show up. But then
I always say that understanding the cultural background of some of these regions is very key, and that's what sometimes scares me about when I say it's a bit of a divided Ghana. I always say that on the low key, on conversations offline and off air, that there's a bit of a divided Ghana, and the regions really create a certain. It will surprise you the interest of the person in. I schooled in KNUST, so I understand this. You're saying very, very, very well. The interest of the person in the Western region is completely different. The understanding, the mindset is completely different from that person in. And I say this confidently because in playing in the youth space and in an earlier company I worked with, engaging the youth brand in those three spaces required, and one of the lessons we learned was that you cannot use the Accra approach to excite the Kumasi and the Takrady approach. They're completely different. I didn't play in the space of the North, so I can't speak to it, but it's a completely different thing. But that's where the marketing, I said I had a question for Cyril as well. Back to yesterday, what you asked about, so how would we be able to turn these characters in these animations to start leading the conversations for us, because we can't wait for the legacy to be passed on from the current generation of actors to the new ones. Now there are no even new ones because now it's TikTok, so everybody's an actor and an actress. And on almost every girl that I bump into's IG page, there's actress there. So I'm a bit confused.
Those who are anime fans, and they watch like the One Piece and Dragon Ball Z and time past Pokemon. I still remember Ash, but I don't know who played Ash in Pokemon. And stuff like that. Naruto like this and so on and so forth. What's the name of that guy in Dragon Ball Z with Goku? I don't know who played Goku. You get me? Even with Avatar, the last Airbender, I don't know who played that character. But I do remember the character. I do remember the Airbender. I remember who the character that played water and all that. But just to add what you say, we don't really have that connection with the characters.
For pop culture, it's more about. I'm coming. Sorry. For pop culture, it's more about building. Pop culture is all about community. And within each society, each thing has its community. Even Beyonce and Taylor Swift, they make the same kind of music. But there's Beehive and then there's Taylor's people. What we've done is that the community we've created for animation in Ghana is kids. We have consciously created a community for animation, and that is kids. That's why people refer to animation as toys in Kola. So when you are watching Naruto in your room, you are envisaging yourself as part of the anime community globally because you are exposed to that, right? But if your mom or somebody from an old generation walks in, because they are not a part of that community with you, it's like a toys ben a ocean. Oh, sorry, in pre-prior. You get what I'm saying? So it's all about perspective. We've not actively built a mature enough community through our audience for animation.
Yeah.
That is why when the reverse happened with Akolao Okoye, because it was a medium that we had concluded for kids, but the message was a mature one. That is why it went against the grain and became popular. Because for a long time, all we saw were cartoons, dancing, singing, doing fun things for kids. But for the first time with the Akolao Okoye, we saw the same kids medium communicating a very mature message. And that is what excited people. You get what I'm saying? So for me to market this and sell this, we need to build the community. The same way people came to Silverbird 3 days in a row. That is your community. When we amplify that community and it keeps growing and growing, then it becomes a mainstay.
And that's what we're also like looking to do, because talking about like demographics, that on the day of the premiere we were actually expecting but surprisingly, based on what we had and the data we put together, about 90% of the people that showed up were either adults or young adults. It was just a little fraction that was,
Jesse, our time is up. We have to wrap up quickly now. Barely like 10 seconds on there. Well, real quickly, before you read the comments, so what are you working on now, real quickly, before we should expect from you?
We're putting out a short film this December. Yes, so you guys should look out for that.
Date?
It's not out yet. You just check our socials, Mills Media _ on Instagram, on Facebook, and once it comes out,
Okay, all right. Olele, wrap us up with the questions.
Davis on Facebook says, how have I never seen this animation? Dope. Well, you've seen it now. Ajiman says, very nice. Delali has recognized Mami from Leaked. God Odo says, Komomo. Kwame Asari says, Cyril Komos. Rihanna says, the Ghanaian film industry simply does not have any strategy to revive the industry. Emmanuel sells Mills Media. Henry says, Badrimba Cyril. Francisca says, I'm Franca watching you live. Okay, I get it. Now, this is a very interesting question. Who owns the IP if the AI gives you the options for you to build upon? Okay, that's an interesting question. And Henry says, it's always a story, even though the animation plays a big role. Ghana should work with more proper writers, like Coleman said yesterday. The animation can be dope, but the story is quote-unquote trash. Then forget. Asantua captured our hearts because we know the story and it was told pretty well.
On that note, our time is up. We have to wrap out of here. But Jesse, thank you very much. We have business. We're going to talk about that right after the show as well. And on that note, we're back here again, same time tomorrow on Culture Daily. And we are.